week, I'm starting off with an apology. I'm apologising because it is proper echoey in here and we're not using proper microphones. So I do apologise for that. You just have to bear with us. And together, we're going to dig in and get through it. But also, I've got helping me out. My sidekick for the day is Taylor. He's still part of the apology. I'm still apologising for Taylor being with me on this one. Basically, what we're doing is we're mixing it up a little bit, keep the body guessing, and we're doing a side mission. And this way,
late night side mission.
It is. Yeah, we're doing a late night montage, and basically what we're doing is we're doing a backdrop for our stand at the Business Showcase that is actually on, not tomorrow, but the day after.
Yeah. There's nothing like leaving it late.
You're gonna like this. We've got to set up tomorrow, so that's why we're doing the late night montage. So what we're going to do is we're going to be creating basically a brick backdrop like what we've been doing in Sweeney Todd. That's why we're over at Pontefract doing it. And then we're going to cut some holes in it so that we can have some moving portraits and things like that happening in the backdrop, because this is all to advertise the Twisted Brew. Okay, so come on for a ride and let's see how we get on.
Hi guys, Danny here. I'm taking over from Nick on the narration side of things just for a week while he's away. So as previously mentioned by Nick and Taylor there, what they're doing here is they are making some flats, piece of scenery if you will, for our business showcase that's in Doncaster. Now essentially, for those who don't know what a business showcase is, I'm sure your local area has one, but basically they rent out a big space and all different businesses from the local area, our case obviously being Doncaster. They show up with a little stand and they have information on what their business does, what the services and products that they provide, and it's a big chance for everyone to sort of network and obviously customers can go in there and find out a little bit more about them. And we've certainly got plenty of contacts. We get our uniform from a Doncaster Business Centre, we get our products, some of our products from Doncaster businesses and things, so it's a nice way to keep local business local, to quote the League of Gentlemen there. Now, as you can see, what these guys are doing here, they're just piecing together one of the flats. They are going to do two eventually, and piece them together. So it's two bits of wood beam with the MDF and screwing them on together. They are going to be two uprights, and as I said, they're going to be two sort of brick wall pieces, and they are going to have moving pictures in there to create the illusion of a magical world, because essentially what this is to advertise is our Twisted Brew, which for those who don't know is a magical themed pub that we have in our Doncaster branch. So they're piecing them together as we see in the video here. So I'm just going to leave them to it just for a second, and I'll be back to you with some more information as I can think of it. Enjoy. So there we go, a nice loud saw. If you're listening on your headphones, I'm sure that sounded fantastic. But essentially what that clip was showing was cutting up the support beams at the back of each structure, because there's nothing worse than having a bit of wobbly wood. We obviously want these to be stable. We don't want them falling on anyone. Safety is first, so we don't want them falling on anyone at all. You can see some of the materials that we're going to use in the background. So towards the feet end of where Nick is there, you can see we've got the white bits are the tile bricks that we're going to piece on the other side to create the wall, and the triangular bits are what they're using there. You see, they are the support beams for to make it stand up. Basically, it's got to be freestanding. We've got nowhere to hang it. We can't drill it into a wall because it's there for a day and a half at most. And obviously, we want it to be as safe as possible. We don't want it falling on anyone, so that's what they're figuring out there with what they're doing. So again, I'll leave you to it, put a bit of music on for you, and again I'll speak to you a little bit later on. So there we go, guys. Welcome back to my voice. What they're doing now is these are the tiles that they're putting on there. So on one side it's a bit of brickwork. They're gluing them on onto the boards, and obviously they'll repeat the pattern all the way down the piece of wood. Now this is going to look fantastic when they're finished. There's a little bit of extra work that they've got to do at end, which we'll show you later on, just to give it a nice finish. But I think it looks better than just, I don't know, a piece of wood with a logo on it. No disrespect to anyone who's got a piece of wood with a logo on it, but yeah, like I say, we've got a bit of a budget behind this now. We've got a bit of extra materials that we're not using elsewhere, because these of course are from our Sweeney Todd build, the spare pieces of material from our Sweeney Todd build. So why wouldn't we use them for something else? And then of course we can use this in future, for future showcases, for future shows. There's always some sort of show that we can get involved in, or just stick it out and around town just for advertising. So it might seem like a lot of work for just a day's thing, but we are going to be able to use these in future, which is important. So that's what the aim is for stuff like this. So it's a bit of a choppy video, this one, guys, because as well as piecing this together, Nick also has a couple of side missions to do. One of the side missions is going to Harrison's antique shop for some props for the Sweeney Todd room. So let's get on that.
Well, you guessed it, I didn't get away scot-free, as usual here at Harrison's. Pickup day. I'm here with Heath. Hey mate.
How we doing? All right?
Yeah, not so bad. So look at the goodies that he's got for me.
You
Oh,
asked for a barber's chair. I found you a barber's chair.
boom. Yeah.
Barber's light.
Even got a light,
Fantastic.
and yes, the heater, boiler, burner, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, that's going on the van as well. So let's get loaded up.
Do it.
So here we are, we're just piecing it together in the van, and I say we, I mean Nick. He's doing it all. It seems like a big van for a couple of pieces, but the van is obviously rented for the business showcase stuff and getting all that to the business showcase, because I don't know if you saw them all, they had bricks on them, albeit not full bricks, but they are quite heavy, so we didn't want to be wandering around with them on the roof rack or anything like that. We thought we'd get the actual support for these. So yeah, obviously also important to use when you've got loads of space in a van, just tie the stuff to a wall or something, just so it doesn't rattle around. We paid a lot of money for these things. You don't want to be damaging them straight away. So yeah, there we go.
So there we go, we're loaded up from Harrison's. I can guarantee you, if there's something that you're after for some sort of theming or something like that, or a certain look, you need to find either Harrison's, you need to be talking to them, or you need to find your own local guys. I'm very lucky that these guys look out for me for stuff, and also another couple of guys that look for stuff for me as well. But if you're in the Doncaster, Sheffield, Barnsley area, it's definitely worth popping in. But I tell you what, you're going to want a van. You're going to want a van, because you're going to find stuff and you're going to find loads of it. So let's get this back and let's get unloaded. Let's get after it.
Right folks, so back at it. We're cracking on getting these walls done for basically the trade show that we're in tomorrow, and yeah, there's absolutely zero time to do it, so we best crack on. Let's go.
So obviously, guys, I'm clueless with this sort of stuff. I don't know if you can tell by what I'm saying. I know Nick says every week that he's not a joiner, he's not a professional tradesman or anything like that, and he knows a little bit of everything but not a lot of most things. So he's always asking for advice and how would you do things differently. Don't just copy him. You know, if you've got better things, don't just say, oh, you didn't do that right, I'd have done this. Give him advice, he's willing for it. But if you've got any questions based on this, please leave a comment. I know I'm offering very little information here as to what he's doing and where. Partly because, again, I wasn't there, but also I really don't know anything about DIY. I'm sure Nick will tell you himself that he cries himself to sleep most nights that he's hired someone who doesn't know how to hold a screwdriver properly. But there we go. So yeah, any questions, please leave it in the comments below and Nick will get back to you when he returns. So now it's just time to go around the gaps and make it look as seamless as possible. We don't want to see the join, we don't want any Ernie Wise hairpiece or anything like that, for those who are old enough to get that reference. But there you go, so he'll, I was going to say get onto that bit, he's going to brush it in. Again, just to make it look like one piece of set. You don't want to see the join. I know some people out there would have a piece of set, especially for something like this that again is there for a day, but it's the little details that mean the most. and I'm sure Nick mentions things like that. He certainly mentions it to us. Little details mean a lot. So yeah, let's keep it as smooth as possible. And as always, his favourite task, cleaning up. So obviously we've made a mess, and that is again the reception of the Pontefract branch. That's where customers first walk into, so we can't go leaving that as a mess. So let's get that all cleaned up and do our best Freddie Mercury impression. He wants to break... Oh, I can't sing that, kind of copyright, but there we go. So now we're at the business showcase. So this is our stand, this is our corner, and this is, as you can see, why we've rented the van. We've got two big TVs, the wall pieces, the table, the chairs, the actual desk that we're putting in there, a couple of props. Eventually we had cakes and flapjacks and things like that. So there's plenty of stuff going on as to why we needed that large van. But here we go. So here he is setting up. He's got Isabel there as well, helping him along the way, put things in the right place. And let's face it, she's probably telling him what to do and where things look best, because that's what she's here for. She's good at that sort of stuff, attention to detail and things. So yeah, here's just a sped up version of the setting up there. This was the day before the showcase. Luckily we had enough time to go in the day before. Usually it's a rush job of the morning of, and you can see everyone panicking, but this time they let us in the day before, so that's fantastic that we got that opportunity. Don't know what that is. I assume it's some sort of organiser for the event, but she likes to be hanging around us, clearly, because this is a sped up video. Oh, there she had a little wave to the camera. But there, yeah, so she's probably asking when the cakes are going to arrive. That's because that was the big the big draw for us. As soon as them cakes came in, everyone's like, ooh, cake. Oh yeah, so there's our OTB signs. That stands for outside the box. That's something that we're doing with Enigma. We go to schools and colleges and businesses, and it's essentially problem solving at our place or your place. You can either come to us or we can go to you. So one side of the things we were advertising that, and the other side we were advertising the Twisted Broom, which is what the set was made for, what the flats were made for. There you can see the monitors have gone in. Let's hope they work first time. Let's see. There we go, look, the monitors are up and running. So that means we're working, everything fits nicely, so we can relax a little bit. There's no last minute panicking. We're just going to put up obviously a terrible camera angle for this, but we're just going to put up a black cloth up on the back of that, so you don't see the rubbish bit at the back. You want that to look nice and neat. I know we've got a corner, but there's people behind there selling their business, and we don't want to ruin it for them by just having a rubbish back of the board. So for polite reasons, and obviously for it to look as nice as possible, we're going to cover the back in with the black cloth. We'd have usually painted it black, but as you can tell from the beginning of this video, we didn't have time. Well, that steamroller that just went by, but there we go. So yeah, we're just staple gunning that. Staple guns are fun, aren't they? While we finish the rest of the setup here. And again, more last minute brushing just to make sure it's as smooth as possible. As it was transported, obviously things would have moved around and cracked a little bit. So I just want to make sure it looks as smooth as possible to get that nice flush finish. But I mean, even on this close up, you can see, I know there's a glare on the screens. We've got ants working on one side on the screen, and we've got a couple of actors working on the other side of the screen as well on the monitors. But we just want to look at like a big piece of set, and you know, I know it's biased, but I genuinely think it looked amazing. It looked stand out, and it was way better than what we've had previously. We've started from just a table to having a table and a backcloth to having table, backcloth and TV, and we're just going up every year. So let's see what we're going to do next year. No pressure, Nick. And here we are, the finished product. We've got a screen on one side. Again, the cakes aren't quite there yet because this was the day before. The cakes arrived the day of. But yeah, that's our setup. But now I was going to take you on a little quick tour of the showcase. So Dolphin IT was the headline act, if you will, and they had a full temple, jungle temple. But here's a couple of things. I'm not going to talk through them because I can't see where everyone is. But let's have a quick burst of music while we go through and see what everyone else has done. Again, this is the day before, so not everyone's fully set up there. But there's still some amazing looking stands. So here we go. Hello, it's me, Danny. So yeah, that's the end of that little video. I'm just taking over a little bit because Nick's away on business at the minute. But yeah, so as you can see, the piece of set that he built for the business showcase is here. We're storing it for future references. All the TV screens are back up where they belong in the room. You can have a nice little wander around of the business showcase, which we did pretty well at. There's quite a lot of contacts that we made, which was awesome, and we met new people and some returning customers as well, so that was fantastic. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, like for leisure, and we'll see what we're up to next time. Cheers, take care.